What if a person can be exceptionally gifted and still spend years using that gift in the wrong direction? Think carefully before you answer, because this question may disturb an assumption you have carried all your life. We have been trained to believe that if you are good at something, that thing must be your purpose. If people applaud you, you assume you have found your assignment. If an ability earns money, attracts attention, or opens doors, you conclude, this must be why I was born. But applause can confirm that people enjoyed your performance. It cannot reveal the original intention for your life. Write this down. Recognition measures response. Purpose measures intent. Many people use 5 different words as though they mean the same thing. Talent, skill, passion, career, and purpose. They are connected, but they are not identical. Confusing them can make you successful in the wrong direction. Talent is natural capacity. It is something you possess an unusual ability to do. Skill is capacity improved through learning, correction, repetition, and discipline. Passion is emotional energy, the excitement or conviction that moves you towards something. A career is an economic vehicle through which you apply certain abilities. Purpose is the reason for your existence, the intention that gives meaning and direction to everything else. And an assignment is purpose expressed through a specific responsibility in a particular season. Listen carefully. Your talent is not your purpose. Your skill is not your purpose. Your passion is not your purpose. Even your career is not your purpose. Each may serve purpose, but none can define purpose by itself. Here is the master principle. A gift tells you what you can do, but purpose tells you why you should do it, for whom you should do it, and what result it should produce. Now I know the objection. You say, but if I do this exceptionally well, surely that proves I am called to it. No, excellence proves developed ability. It does not automatically prove correct direction. Ability creates options. Purpose supplies the standard for choosing among those options. Imagine placing a powerful cutting tool in someone's hand. It can shape wood, prepare food, perform delicate surgery, or cause terrible harm. Its sharpness is real, its power is undeniable. But power alone cannot determine proper use. You must know its function, its user, its environment, and its intended result. The tool does not become valuable merely because it can cut. It becomes valuable when its capacity is directed toward the result it was chosen to produce. Your gift works the same way. Undirected ability can impress people and still waste a life. So say this aloud. My ability is capacity. My assignment gives it direction. Say it again until your mind releases the old belief. My ability is capacity. My assignment gives it direction. Now that we have separated gift from purpose, we must face the next question. How do you discover the intended function of what has been placed inside you? Here is the principle. When you do not know the intended use of something, even something valuable can be neglected, misdirected, or damaged. Ignorance of purpose does not remove power. It makes power dangerous. Imagine receiving an advanced machine with no label, no instructions, and no explanation. You see buttons, blades, lights, and tremendous capacity. What do? You begin experimenting. You press whatever responds. You use it wherever it seems convenient. And if the machine produces one exciting result, you assume that result must be its purpose. That is how many people treat their lives. They discover an ability, receive a little recognition, and build an entire future around the first thing that worked. But activity is not proof of intent. Success in using a capacity does not guarantee that you have understood its design. Write these 5 words down. Capacity, function, beneficiary, environment, and result. These 5 questions will turn purpose from a mysterious feeling into a disciplined investigation. First, capacity asks, what can I do? Capacity is the range of potential built into you. Perhaps you can explain complex ideas, recognize patterns, organize people, create beauty, solve practical problems, listen deeply, or remain calm in disorder. But capacity creates possibilities. It does not issue final instructions. Second, function asks, what useful work should this capacity perform? A strong voice can entertain, educate, persuade, reconcile, warn, or inspire. The voice is the capacity. What the voice accomplishes is its function. Never confuse the instrument with the work it is meant to perform. Third, beneficiary asks, who should become better because this capacity exists? This question is critical because purpose moves your attention away from display and toward service. Your gift was not placed in your life merely to make you impressive. Its value becomes visible when another person, family, organization, or community benefits from its responsible use. Fourth, environment asks, where can this function operate most effectively? The same gift may serve differently in a home, a classroom, a company, a congregation, or a neighborhood. Environment does not necessarily change the gift. It changes the form through which the gift serves. Fifth, result asks, what should remain after I have finished? Did confusion become understanding? Did disorder become structure? Did fear become courage? Did unused potential become developed ability? Purpose is not measured only by what you expressed. It is also measured by what your expression produced. Consider a gifted communicator. That person could advertise a product, teach children, reconcile a divided team, present a business vision, or advocate for an overlooked community. Every application uses communication, but they do not serve the same people, solve the same problem, operate in the same setting, or create the same result. Therefore, communication alone cannot reveal the assignment. Do you see it now? Ability gives you a range of destinations. Purpose tells you which journey deserves your life. You may have many plans, and some of them may be attractive, profitable, and respectable, but a plan is only a proposed route. Purpose is the reason the journey matters. Never surrender your life to a route before you understand the reason for traveling. So take your paper and make 5 headings: capacity, function, beneficiary, environment, and result. Leave room beneath each one. We are going to fill them carefully because clarity is not found by waiting for one dramatic moment. It grows as you examine the design, test it through service, and observe what your contribution produces. The first entry may seem obvious. You may begin with what excites you, but excitement can speak loudly without speaking accurately. Passion is valuable evidence, but before it becomes a guide, it must be examined. Passion matters. It gives energy to vision. It awakens persistence. It can inspire other people to contribute their strength to a cause they could not see until someone described it with conviction. A person without passion may possess ability and never release it. But write this down. Passion is a witness to examine, not an authority to obey. Why? Because passion can tell you that something matters to you, but it cannot tell you by itself whether that thing should govern your life. Emotion is powerful, but emotion is unstable. Excitement rises when the idea is new, the response is positive, and the possibilities appear unlimited. Conviction remains when the work becomes repetitive, the progress becomes slow, and nobody seems impressed. Excitement says, I want the experience. Conviction says, I accept the responsibility. Passion can mislead you in at least 3 ways. First, you can become passionate about recognition. You may not love the contribution. You may love being noticed for making it. Second, you can feel passionate about something simply because it comes easily. But ease proves familiarity or natural capacity, not necessarily assignment. Third, you can become excited about an outcome whose cost you have never calculated. You admire the platform, but you have not considered the preparation. You desire the harvest, but you have not accepted the cultivation. So ask yourself a difficult question. Do I love the work itself? Do I love the people this work serves? Or do I only love the image of being seen doing it? Listen carefully. Mature passion is not merely discovered, it is developed. Purpose gives it direction. Vision gives it a future. Discipline gives it endurance. Service purifies its motive. Repetition makes it dependable. When these elements are absent, passion becomes excitement, looking for stimulation. Consider a farmer. The farmer cannot plant only when inspired, water only when enthusiastic, and harvest only when emotionally ready. The soil does not respond to moods. The season imposes responsibility. Some days are exciting. Many are ordinary. Yet the farmer continues because cultivation is governed by the desired result, not by the emotion of the morning. Your assignment works the same way. Here is the endurance test. Does your interest survive obscurity? Does it survive slow improvement? Can it endure correction, routine, criticism, and the absence of applause? When nobody calls your name, do you continue preparing? When the work becomes difficult, do you still care about the people who need its result? Passion that survives responsibility may be revealing something deeper than temporary excitement. Take your paper and make 2 lists. On the first, write the activities that excite you. On the second, write the responsibilities you continue to honor even when excitement disappears. Then look for the overlap. That intersection may reveal where desire is becoming discipline and where interest is maturing into conviction. Do not abandon meaningful work merely because the emotional temperature changed. Losing excitement does not always mean you have lost purpose. It may mean your assignment has entered a stage where character must support you and skill must carry you. And when passion is no longer the center, purpose turns your attention outward. It asks a more mature question. Who is supposed to become better because your gift exists? Write this principle beneath the word beneficiary. Gifts may reside in individuals, but purposeful gifts do not terminate in individuals. Your gift is carried by you, but it is not completed in you. Its purpose becomes visible when something improves beyond you. Culture teaches us to ask, how can my gift make me successful? How can it increase my income? How can it build my reputation? How can it place my name before more people? Those questions are understandable, but they begin at the wrong end. The more mature question is this: whom does my gift make me responsible to serve? That question changes everything. A beneficiary is not merely someone who watches you. It is not necessarily a customer, follower, admirer, or member of an audience. A beneficiary is a person whose condition can meaningfully improve because you used your capacity responsibly. Do not confuse attention with transformation. 10,000 people may notice your gift while nobody is truly helped by it. Or 10 people may receive clarity, strength, order, opportunity, or hope because you serve them well. Which expression carries greater value? Visibility tells you how many people saw you. Purpose asks what happened to them because they did. A crowd can make you famous. A beneficiary makes you useful. How do you recognize the people your gift may be designed to serve? Look for 4 clues. First, whose struggles do you understand with unusual clarity? You hear their difficulty and immediately perceive what others miss. Second, whose growth gives you deep satisfaction? Their progress energizes you even when nobody gives you credit. Third, who repeatedly brings you the same kinds of questions? Patterns matter. People may already be identifying a function in you that you have treated as ordinary. Fourth, whose future can you envision improving? Vision does not stop at seeing people as they are. It sees what they could become with the right instruction, structure, encouragement, protection, or opportunity. Imagine 2 people with equal organizational ability. Both can establish systems, coordinate schedules, manage resources, and bring order to confusion. One becomes most useful by stabilizing a growing company whose employees need clear processes. The other becomes most useful by coordinating care for families facing crisis. The capacity is similar, the beneficiaries are different, and because the beneficiaries are different, the assignment takes a different form. Now someone is thinking, if I focus on service, does that mean I should ignore provision? No. Compensation and contribution are not enemies. Valuable service can produce income, and responsible income can sustain valuable service. But money cannot be the only instrument used to identify the beneficiary. The highest payer is not automatically the person your gift is primarily equipped to help. Here is another danger: trying to serve everybody. When everybody is your beneficiary, nobody is clearly your responsibility. Your message becomes vague, your priorities become scattered, your energy becomes exhausted. Even a powerful gift loses effectiveness when it has no defined human destination. So take your paper and complete this sentence. The people I feel most responsible to help are, do not write everyone, be specific. Identify their stage of life, their situation, or their recurring need. Are they young adults entering responsibility? Parents building stable homes? Leaders managing change? Students struggling to understand? Families navigating hardship? Name them. Beneficiary clarity also changes leadership. When people recognize that your vision includes their growth, they do not have to be forced into participation. They can be inspired by a future in which their lives become better. Manipulation uses people to advance the leader. Purposeful influence develops people through the vision. Now your gift has begun to acquire a human destination. You can evaluate opportunities not merely by status, income, or attention, but by whether the right people are being served. But knowing the people is not enough. Purpose becomes precise only when you identify the condition your gift is meant to change for them. Vision does not merely observe what exists. Vision sees what could exist and what should exist after responsible action has been taken. That distinction is important because many people can recognize a problem, but few accept responsibility for improving it. A complaint describes what frustrates you. Purposeful vision identifies what is wrong, imagines a better condition, and asks, what can I contribute toward changing this? Write this down. A complaint demands that somebody act. An assignment begins when you recognize that you may be part of the answer. What do you repeatedly notice that other people seem to overlook? Perhaps you enter a room and immediately detect confusion. You examine a process and see waste. You meet people and recognize isolation. You hear an explanation and notice that nobody truly understands it. You enter an organization and see broken communication, weak systems, or undeveloped potential. Do not dismiss what you consistently notice. Your attention may be revealing the field in which your capacity is designed to serve, but the same problem can call different gifts into action. When people lack opportunity, one person may teach them, another may design a better system, another may organize resources, another may finance an initiative, and another may speak on their behalf. The condition is the same, but the functions are different. Purpose does not require everybody to respond identically. It requires each person to contribute responsibly from the capacity entrusted to them. Now create a three-part problem statement. First, name the present condition. Second, identify the people affected. Third, describe the better condition your gift could help produce. Imagine an unmarked crossroads crowded with travelers. The problem is not simply that people are standing there. The real problem is that they cannot determine which road leads to their destination. One person may design clear signs. Another may study the routes and produce a map. Another may stand there and give instructions. Another may organize transportation. Another may lead a group along the correct road. Different gifts, different functions. One desired transformation. People who were confused can now move with direction. That is the principle. Your assignment is not proved merely because you notice the crossroads. It becomes credible when your capacity helps somebody move from confusion toward clarity. Be careful, however, not to build your identity around the problem. You are not required to remain angry in order to remain committed. You do not become superior because you detected what others missed. And you must never make people dependent upon you merely to feel indispensable. The problem is your field of service. It is not permission to control the people you serve. Purpose seeks improvement, not importance. This is where many gifted people deceive themselves. A communicator assumes the work was successful because people heard the speech. But did understanding increase? Did courage grow? Did anyone make a wiser decision? Did action follow? Expression is not the final measurement. Transformation is. So, establish an outcome test. After your gift has operated, are decisions clearer? Is competence stronger? Has order been restored? Has waste decreased? Has access to opportunity increased? Can the people served do something they could not do before? These results help distinguish purposeful contribution from impressive display. Return to your paper and complete this sentence. I use my capacity to help these people move from this condition to that condition. Do not write vague words. Name the movement. From confusion to understanding. From disorder to structure, from isolation to connection, from unused ability to develop competence, from limited access to meaningful opportunity. Now your gift is no longer floating as undefined potential. It has a function, a beneficiary, and a transformation to pursue. Yet, even the right function, serving the right people, can produce frustration when the gift is planted in the wrong environment. Write this down. Purpose may remain stable while its assignment, platform, and environment change. Many people confuse purpose with position. They say, if I leave this job, I will lose my purpose. Or when I finally receive a larger platform, then I will begin fulfilling my purpose. But a position is a location. A platform is a means of access. Neither is the reason you exist. Environment is the context in which your gift must function. It includes the culture around you, the needs before you, the authority under which you operate, the relationships available to you, the resources within reach, the timing of the opportunity, and the freedom to serve responsibly. Consider someone whose enduring purpose is to develop human potential. That purpose may first appear through raising children with wisdom and discipline. Later, it may operate through classroom instruction. In another season, it may become team leadership, private mentoring, or community training. The setting changes, the title changes, the audience changes. But the central contribution remains, helping people move from undeveloped capacity toward responsible competence. Do you see the difference? Your occupation may be temporary, but the contribution beneath it can remain consistent. That is why you must stop assuming that purpose always requires resignation, relocation, or public recognition. Your current environment may be the laboratory in which your gift is tested. The people around you may be your first beneficiaries. The small responsibility you keep overlooking may be the training ground where capacity becomes skill and good intention becomes credible service. But there are genuine environmental mismatches. How can you recognize one? The people your gift is equipped to serve may be absent. The function you need to perform may be consistently prohibited. The values of the environment may contradict the integrity required by the assignment, or the setting may lack the structure necessary to support the intended result. Be careful here. Do not call every difficulty a mismatch. Correction is not always rejection. Discomfort is not always misalignment. A small beginning is not proof that you are in the wrong place. Slow recognition does not mean your contribution has no value. Sometimes the resistance is developing your patience, competence, humility, and endurance. If you leave every environment that corrects you, you may escape the very process preparing you. Wisdom recognizes seasons. There is a time to learn, a time to serve, a time to build, a time to rest, and a time to lead. Purpose does not demand the same expression in every season. A season of preparation is not inferior to a season of visibility. Roots are not less important because nobody applauds them. Now evaluate your present environment with 4 questions. Write them down. Who can I serve here? What function can I practice here? What resistance is developing me? What limitation is truly structural? Answer honestly. Do not romanticize your environment, but do not despise it either. Faithful contribution in a modest setting produces evidence. It develops skill. It reveals character. It creates credibility for greater responsibility. Your purpose is larger than one job, one title, or one platform. Seek its most responsible expression in the season you have now. But finding the right environment still does not complete the assignment, because potential only becomes dependable through stewardship. Write this principle down. Potential describes what could be released, but stewardship determines what can be safely entrusted. Everybody wants greater opportunity. We ask for a larger platform, increased resources, wider influence, and more responsibility. But here is the question that exposes us. What are you doing with the capacity, time, and responsibility already in your hands? Do not ask for more until you have examined your management of what you already possess. Growth is usually progressive. Mastery does not suddenly appear when the audience arrives. Wisdom is formed through ordinary decisions made repeatedly. Character is established in private, long before pressure reveals it in public. What looks like sudden success is often the visible result of years of invisible preparation. That is why talent is not enough. Talent may give you an early advantage. It may allow you to learn faster or perform naturally. But people cannot depend upon raw talent. Dependable service requires study, practice, correction, patience, and consistency. Talent says, I can do this. Competence says, I can do this well. Stewardship says, you can trust me to do it well when it matters. Now examine your time, because purpose must eventually enter your calendar. An unscheduled gift usually remains an admired intention. You can speak passionately about what you were born to do, but if no time is reserved to develop it, your schedule has exposed the truth your words attempted to hide. Where is the hour for study? Where is the time for practice? Where is the space for reflection? Where is the appointment to serve someone now? Time is not merely passing. Time is carrying your potential with it. Every day invested wisely converts capacity into competence. Every day surrendered continually to distraction leaves part of your future undeveloped. And distraction is not innocent. Attention is energy under direction. When your attention is continually consumed by noise, comparison, entertainment, and endless reaction, that same attention cannot be invested in preparation or meaningful work. You cannot build a focused contribution with a scattered mind. This is why solitude matters. Solitude is not withdrawal from responsibility. It is preparation for responsibility. Quiet space allows you to examine your motives, process failure, think independently, refine your vision, and work without needing recognition. In solitude, you discover whether you love the assignment or merely the applause surrounding it. But stewardship includes more than skill. It includes character. A gifted person who refuses to listen may misunderstand the people being served. A talented person without patience may injure people during their development. Ability without integrity creates distrust. Influence without self-control can damage the very beneficiaries the gift was meant to help. Your gift determines what you can contribute. Your character influences whether people can safely receive it. Take your paper and conduct a stewardship inventory. Ask yourself, what is my present level of skill? Where are my learning gaps? How many hours do I practice each week? Who gives me honest feedback? What private habits strengthen or weaken my credibility? Which existing responsibilities have I neglected while asking for larger ones? Do not answer these questions emotionally. Answer them truthfully. Now choose one capacity you have neglected. For the next 30 days, schedule a recurring period for study, practice, or direct service. Put it on the calendar. Protect it from unnecessary interruption. At the end of each week, record what improved, what failed, and what must change. And do not despise the size of the beginning. A small assignment is not an insignificant assignment. It is often a test of faithfulness. The size of the audience does not determine the seriousness of your preparation. If one person needs the result of your gift, that person deserves responsible service. Potential may attract attention, but stewardship creates trust. Purpose is not validated because you could become useful someday. It becomes visible when disciplined preparation makes your capacity dependable today. Now we have clarified capacity, beneficiary, problem, environment, and stewardship. The framework is ready to be compressed into one purpose statement and then tested in real life. We began with a disturbing paradox. A person can possess the right ability and still use it in the wrong assignment. Now we can resolve it. The goal is not merely to discover what you can do. The goal is to direct what you can do toward the reason it matters. Look again at the framework you have built. Capacity names the resource within you. Function names the useful work that resource can perform. Beneficiary identifies the people it should serve. Environment identifies the setting in which it can operate responsibly. Intended result defines what should become better because you acted. Capacity without function is dormant potential. Function without a beneficiary becomes self-display. A beneficiary without a defined problem leaves the assignment vague. A correct assignment in the wrong environment becomes frustrated. And all of it without stewardship remains unreliable. Now write this formula. I develop and use my capacity to perform this function for these people, addressing this need so that this result becomes possible. Do not rush through it. Every phrase carries responsibility. Suppose a person has the capacity to listen carefully and explain ideas clearly. The function may be turning confusion into practical understanding. The beneficiaries may be first-time supervisors who have technical knowledge but struggle to lead people. The need may be unclear communication that produces tension and repeated mistakes. The desired result may be healthier teams that make better decisions. That person could write, I develop and use my ability to listen and explain so I can help first-time supervisors resolve confusion, communicate expectations clearly, and build healthier teams. Notice that this statement does not require a grand title. It does not require a stadium. It identifies a capacity, a function, a beneficiary, a problem, and a result. That is enough to begin. But listen carefully. Your first statement is a working hypothesis. It is not an untouchable slogan. It is not necessarily your final job description. Purpose may be enduring, while your understanding of its expression becomes clearer through experience. You are writing a direction to test, not carving a title into stone. Here is your service test. For the next 30 days, choose one real beneficiary. Identify one defined problem that person faces. Select one usable expression of your gift. Then choose one result you can observe. If you believe you can teach, help one person understand something important. If you believe you can organize, bring order to one neglected process. If you believe you can encourage, help one discouraged person identify and complete a responsible next step. If you believe you can design, improve one experience for the people already using it. Do not begin with scale. Begin with service. Then ask for feedback. What helped? What remained unclear? What changed as a result? What part of your capacity needs further development? What weakness in your character appeared while you were serving? Do not fear honest answers. Feedback does not destroy purpose. It disciplines presumption. Learn to interpret the evidence. Energy may reveal passion. Effectiveness may reveal capacity. The beneficiary's response may reveal usefulness. A conviction that survives difficulty may reveal deeper alignment. No single sign proves everything, but repeated patterns can produce responsible clarity. Use this cycle. Serve, observe, reflect, refine, and serve again. Say it aloud. Serve, observe, reflect, refine, and serve again. Clarity grows through action. Many people remain confused because they are trying to think their way into certainty without ever becoming useful to anyone. Reflection is necessary, but endless speculation can become fear wearing the clothing of wisdom. Avoid 3 final distortions. First, do not chase applause instead of impact. Attention can make you visible without making you valuable. Second, do not confuse one platform with your purpose. A platform is only one environment through which your contribution may travel. Third, do not wait for perfection before beginning. Preparation is essential, but perfectionism can bury capacity beneath endless delay. Now write this declaration. I will not worship my gift, bury my gift, or use my gift only to display myself. I will develop it, direct it, and use it responsibly for the good it was designed to produce. Read it again, then live it. A meaningful life is not built by collecting abilities, titles, and opportunities. It is built by converting entrusted capacity into consistent contribution. Your gift is not your purpose. Your gift is the resource. Purpose gives it a beneficiary, a problem, a direction, and a standard of stewardship. So stop waiting for a perfect platform. Find the smallest person you can serve, the clearest problem you can address, and the most responsible action you can take now. Begin there, serve faithfully, listen carefully, improve continuously, let action reveal what imagination alone cannot, and allow every responsible act of service to uncover the next expression of your assignment.